Okay, so we are starting a new unit with radicals. One of the skills that you need to do this unit well is to know how to simplify radicals. So that's what this practice is about. There's kind of two approaches that I've seen students use. Some students are able to kind of recognize that, okay, 20 is 5 times 4, and the square root of 4 is 2. So then the end result is 2 square root of 5. So if they did that here, they would recognize that 27 is 9 times 3, and the square root of 9 is 3. So the simplified radical is 3 square root 3. So that's one approach that I see people use. The people who use this are the ones that recognize the square numbers really well. So the square numbers are there's 1, obviously. There's 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, 121, and 144. And you can continue to memorize these up further. I think most elementary schools kind of stopped their multiplication tables around 12. These are perfect squares because this is, it's 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, right? On and on and on. 4 squared. So that's one approach, is just looking at a number, trying to think, okay, well, does it divide by 4? Does it divide by 9? Does it divide by 16? Does it divide by 25? And that's probably the faster way to do this. Now, sometimes you'll find a number that really kind of gets you stuck. If you're stuck, a foolproof method is to break it down into its prime factors. So let's do that with 150. 150 is 2 times 75. And then you divide this. It can't be divided by 2. It can be divided by 3, 3 and 25. And then 25 is broken into 5 times 5. So if you break it all the way down into its prime numbers, notice you didn't have to do that before. You just stopped once you got a perfect square. But if you need to break it down completely, then what you do is you look for pairs. 150 is the same thing as 2 times 3 times 5 times 5. And then I'm looking for a pair of numbers because this is a square root. Here's a pair of numbers. They'll go to the outside. And the result is 5 square root of 2 times 3. But you don't want to leave an operation here because then it's not simplified. So you multiply those back together and you get 6. 5 square root 6. Okay. So using one of these two methods, either recognizing one of these numbers here and then taking the square root of that and leaving whatever's behind under the radical sign, or breaking it down completely into its prime numbers and then looking for pairs. One way or the other, though, simplify all of these, practice these, and then we'll be ready to move on to the next topic. Oh, and in case you're wondering how to do this worksheet, okay, so square root of 20 is 2 square root 5. So I'm going to look for 2 square root 5 right here, and I'm going to draw this pattern. So, I'm trying to make things more fun, and I know you'll be like, oh my God, give me a break, this is not fun. But I'm trying, okay? I'm trying. So I would draw the pattern that I see next to that. Okay. All right, well, good luck.